Why does homelessness keep rising even after billions spent to fix it? Today, we reveal the real solutions that actually work, and how they can change lives for good. Remember to like and subscribe for more Money Smart Basics videos. If you have any suggestions for financial literacy topics, please leave a comment. Stay until the end to receive a bonus tip. Ending homelessness is possible, and it starts with proven, actionable solutions. Around the world, cities are showing us what works. The key is to focus on the root causes and invest in strategies that deliver real results. First, prioritize housing first. This approach gives people a stable home immediately, without preconditions. Once housed, individuals receive support for mental health, employment, and addiction. Cities like Helsinki and Salt Lake City have seen homelessness drop dramatically by scaling up housing first. Real stories prove it works. When people like Sarah receive a home and support, they rebuild their lives. Stable housing is the foundation for lasting change. Next, make housing affordable. Cities can pass rent control, inclusionary zoning, and convert vacant buildings into homes. These policies prevent homelessness by keeping families in their homes and expanding access to affordable options. Support people before they lose their homes. Emergency rental assistance, eviction prevention, and job training programs catch people during crises, like job loss or medical emergencies, so they don't fall into homelessness. Get creative with new models. Tiny home villages, supportive housing, and rapid rehousing programs offer quick, effective pathways out of homelessness. These solutions are already working in communities across the globe. Treat housing as a human right. When governments commit to this principle, they invest in long-term solutions and see real progress. Fewer people on the streets and healthier communities. Build trust through outreach. Teams connect people to services, help them navigate the system, and support their journey home. Every successful transition starts with someone reaching out. Celebrate success and invest in people. Those who overcome homelessness show us what's possible when we provide the right support and opportunities. The results are clear. Neighborhoods revitalized, families reunited, and cities transformed. Investing in solutions benefits everyone. Progress is happening. Cities that act see real reductions in homelessness and more hopeful headlines. We can choose to solve homelessness by scaling up what works, supporting people in crisis, and making housing a right for all. Now is the time to act. Let's invest in proven solutions and build a future where everyone has a place to call home. The path is clear. Let's make it happen. Homelessness isn't just an old man on a park bench, but real change is possible. Like the single mom living in her car, who found stability through a local shelter and job training program, or the teen aging out of foster care, who was matched with a mentor and affordable housing, and the veteran battling PTSD, now thriving thanks to community support groups. Even full-time workers struggling with rent have found hope through rent assistance and community-driven housing initiatives. Surviving homelessness is a relentless, exhausting job, but it's one that communities can help end. Every day is about finding safety, food, and shelter. Local outreach teams and volunteers make a real difference. The psychological toll is crushing, but support networks restore dignity and hope. Imagine applying for a job without an address. Yet, with help from nonprofits, many do and succeed. Managing health conditions is tough, but mobile clinics and community health programs save lives. Most people are just one crisis away from losing their home, but early intervention and legal aid can prevent homelessness. These are our neighbors, not statistics. When communities come together, real solutions happen. The line between housed and homeless is razor thin, but bridges can be built. Understanding and action are the first steps to real solutions. Everyone can play a part. We need to see the people, not just the problem. Together we can help them build a better future. Let's look at the numbers behind real progress. While over 580,000 people experienced homelessness in the US in 2022, cities that have implemented proven strategies are seeing measurable declines. Data doesn't just highlight the crisis, it reveals what actually works to solve it. Take housing first. In Houston, this approach helped reduce homelessness by 63% since 2011. Salt Lake City saw a 91% drop in chronic homelessness after adopting housing first. These statistics show that providing permanent housing without preconditions is a scalable, effective solution. Rapid rehousing and coordinated outreach also deliver results. Nationally, communities using these methods have moved over 105,000 people from the streets into homes in just 1 year. The data proves that connecting people quickly to housing and support services leads to lasting stability. Family homelessness can be cut dramatically. In New York City, targeted rental assistance and eviction prevention programs helped reduce family homelessness by 27% over 5 years. These numbers show that focused interventions keep families together and off the streets. For chronic homelessness, permanent supportive housing is key. National studies show that 85% of people placed in supportive housing remain housed after 1 year. When combined with healthcare and case management, these programs break the cycle for the most vulnerable. Addressing racial disparities is essential. In Minneapolis, investing in Black and Indigenous-led organizations helped close the racial gap in homelessness by 18% in 3 years. Data shows that culturally competent services and fair housing policies drive equity. Indigenous communities are leading with results. In Seattle, culturally specific housing programs led to a 30% increase in stable housing for Native Americans. These outcomes prove that honoring unique needs leads to stronger communities. Expanding affordable housing and rental assistance works. In Los Angeles, new tenant protections and increased rental aid helped reduce evictions by 40% in 2 years. These policy changes are scalable and effective in keeping people housed. Policy change drives results. When cities and states invest in affordable housing and mental health care, homelessness rates drop. For example, after Oregon increased funding for housing, statewide homelessness fell by 8% in 1 year. Every statistic represents a real person, a family reunited, a veteran housed, a life rebuilt. These numbers prove that with the right support, homelessness is not inevitable. Collaboration is key. Cities that coordinate efforts between government, nonprofits, and people with lived experience see the greatest reductions in homelessness. The data is clear. Working together multiplies impact. The evidence is undeniable. Solutions exist, and they work. Scaling these proven methods nationwide can ensure stability, dignity, and hope for everyone. Now is the time for bold, data-driven action. Housing. First is a proven solution to homelessness. The approach is straightforward. Provide people with permanent housing immediately without preconditions. Once people have stable housing, they can access support for mental health, addiction, or finding a job. Unlike older models that required people to earn housing, Housing First recognizes that stability must come first. It's nearly impossible to rebuild your life while living on the street. Cities like Salt Lake City have cut chronic homelessness by 91% using this method. In Houston, over 25,000 people have been housed, reducing homelessness by more than 60%. Housing First is also cost-effective, saving money compared to repeated use of emergency rooms, shelters, and jails. More than 80% of people remain housed long-term. To implement Housing First more widely, we need political commitment and upfront investment. The evidence is clear. Housing First works wherever it's tried. It's a humane, effective, and scalable solution. With the right commitment, we can make Housing First a reality for everyone who needs it. Integrated mental health and addiction support is essential for ending homelessness. Programs like Pathways to Housing and assertive community treatment teams deliver therapy, case management, and addiction support directly to people's homes, where it's most effective. These mobile teams offer round-the-clock care, building trust and providing stability. Communities can take action by investing in mobile outreach, supportive housing, and integrated care teams. When housing, mental health, and addiction services work together, recovery becomes possible. Integrated support breaks the cycle of homelessness and builds healthier, more resilient communities. Real solutions to homelessness start with practical steps, creating jobs and building affordable housing. When people have access to stable work and a place to live, they can rebuild their lives. Programs like the Center for Employment Opportunities have helped thousands transition from homelessness to employment, offering paid training and real-world job experience. These programs address barriers like gaps in work history, lack of an address, and low confidence, giving people a real chance. Success stories abound. Individuals who once struggled on the streets now hold steady jobs and support their families. But jobs alone aren't enough. Affordable housing is just as critical. In every state, minimum wage workers are priced out of modest apartments, making housing insecurity a constant threat. Cities are tackling this by building more affordable units, reforming restrictive zoning laws, and streamlining construction. Investments in programs like the National Housing Trust Fund have already created thousands of new homes for low-income families. Minneapolis, for example, eliminated single-family zoning, opening the door to more diverse and affordable housing options. These strategies build a housing ecosystem where everyone can find a place to call home. With the right policies, a missed paycheck doesn't have to mean homelessness. By investing in job creation and affordable housing, we build the rungs on the ladder out of homelessness, one success story at a time. The most effective way to address homelessness is to stop it before it begins. Proactive policies like emergency rental assistance and financial education help families weather unexpected crises. Expanding legal aid and enforcing tenant protections prevent unfair evictions and keep people in their homes. Strong eviction moratoriums and right-to-counsel laws give vulnerable tenants a fighting chance. Community mediation programs resolve disputes early, reducing the risk of homelessness. Outreach teams and social workers connect at-risk families to support before problems spiral. When communities invest in prevention, everyone benefits from greater stability and security. Reforming laws that criminalize homelessness, like banning sleeping in public and dismantling encampments, can lead to better outcomes. Fines and arrests create cycles of debt and despair. These are not solutions, they are barriers. Shifting to supportive approaches, deploy outreach workers, not police. Programs like Cahoots in Oregon send medics and crisis workers instead of law enforcement. They link people to services and housing, not incarceration. Support, not punishment, leads to positive change. Resolve encampments by providing real options, not by dismantling lives. We need supportive systems, not criminalization. Homelessness is a public health issue, not a criminal one. Homelessness may seem overwhelming, but it is a challenge we can overcome if we act together. Every city, every street, and every person without a home is a call to action for all of us. History proves that with determination and innovation, even the toughest problems can be solved. We already know what works. Proven solutions like housing first, integrated support services, and strong prevention programs have made a real difference around the world. These approaches rely on data, community involvement, and evidence-based strategies to help people move off the streets and into stable lives. The most effective path forward is clear. Prioritize stable housing, provide wraparound support like mental health care and job training, and focus on preventing homelessness before it starts. Criminalizing poverty only deepens the crisis. Real solutions lift people up and rebuild lives. What's missing isn't knowledge, it's action. We need leaders who treat housing as a human right and communities that demand real change. Political will and community engagement are the engines that drive progress. You have a role to play, support local organizations, advocate for better policies, and vote for leaders who are committed to ending homelessness. Every action, big or small, moves us closer to a solution. Let's challenge the idea that homelessness is inevitable. It's not. By choosing to get involved, we choose hope, dignity, and a future where everyone has a place to call home. We can keep patching a broken system, or we can invest in real, lasting solutions, affordable housing, supportive services, and prevention. These investments build stronger, more resilient communities for everyone. Imagine a future where homelessness is rare, brief, and never a life sentence. Where families stay together, children grow up safe, and communities thrive through compassion and inclusion. But this future depends on us, all of us, choosing to act. It's about empathy, commitment, and the courage to make a difference. The solutions are here. The time is now. Let's unite, get involved, and build a future where homelessness is truly ended. Together, we can make it happen. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. With that, you are ahead of 90% of most people in America. Here is the bonus tip that we promised. Support programs that focus on housing first. Research shows that giving people safe, stable housing first, before requiring them to fix everything else in their lives, creates the strongest foundation for long-term recovery. Once housed, individuals are much more likely to find work, access healthcare, and rebuild their lives successfully. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only, and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.